Meet Will and Tom, two seemingly ordinary men, cursed with a gift of vast knowledge that is forever expanding. Possessing incredible insight with unparalleled skills and expertise. Let us join them as they embark on a journey to quench their thirst for the truth while answering the questions to life's most intriguing mysteries. Let us open our minds and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Its designation is 616. However, it is better known as the Marvel Universe. A universe known to many. A universe where true believers read about their favorite superheroes and most despised supervillains. A fictional place of fantasy that writers and artists build together for their ever-growing fan base of readers. But what if the Marvel Universe was real? What if you suddenly found yourself on Earth 616? Who would you go to for help? Let us read the pages in the minds of our two comic book publishers, Will and Tom, as they illustrate and answer. Welcome back, everybody. This is Tom Case.
This is Will Stark.
Will, I just wanted to make an announcement here. The Dude, Could You Imagine trading cards that we talked about in a previous episode, we have got them commissioned and we're having them made into the cards. If you are still interested in looking at the artwork for these cards, you can see them on our Instagram at dude_could you imagine, and on our Twitter at DCYimagine. And basically, we are giving these cards away to our patrons over at patreon.com/dude-could-you-imagine. And hopefully they're going to be given to us soon. We did get them commissioned, and now we're just waiting on them for delivery.
Yeah, as soon as we get them, we'll let you guys know. And as soon as we get them is when we'll start doing our patron giveaways.
Yep. And Will, we have two questions here. I'm very interested to see what we have to say because they are Will questions.
Okay.
You came up with them.
I don't remember what they are right now, but I'm sure I'll remember them when you ask.
Yes, you will. Question number one. What if you went into a building and when you walked back out, you're in the Marvel Universe?
Oh, okay. So Marvel Cinematic, Marvel Comics, Marvel...
Let's say Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's always the Marvel Cinematic with you. It's never the 616.
Okay, would you rather it be that?
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay. The only reason I say that is just because the MCU right now is a good reference. You know what I mean? Because of what came out and everything.
I guess.
But if you want, we can go to the 616.
Actually, it makes a huge difference. Actually, so make your pick because it makes a gigantic fucking difference.
Yeah, I figure that too. I figure though, like things in the comics, I guess things in the MCU went very out of hand as well.
Oh yeah, it's out of hand either way. I'm just saying it makes a difference what I do depending on if it's the 616 or if it's MCU.
Okay, let's go with let's do it differently because I think the other questions we've had that had comic book or Marvel references, we always kind of went with the MCU.
That's true.
So let's go with the 616.
Thank God. For a lot of reasons, because this world has Reed Richards. Is the main reason. True, yeah. But okay, let's go through the scenario. Where was I?
So here's the
where was
I? You and your family.
Always.
You were waiting. I know you guys couldn't see this, but he flashed over these eyes at me like, okay, I know my family's going to be involved in this. Okay, so you and your family go to, is there a place that all of you like to go to just as a family? Is there like...
Well, Tom, since, the plague broke out, we don't really go out a lot.
But before
as
that,
a family.
Was there?
Before that, we weren't really a family yet. So.
Oh, that's right. You were
we like to go hiking.
You were a quarantine family.
Yeah, we're a quarantine family.
That's right.
Yeah, and my son's a quarantine baby.
Okay, let's just say you guys went up to Idlewild. I know you guys love Idlewild.
We love Idlewild. Right? That's great.
Have you guys been into that? You know how the little hiking area they have there has, it has the building that you could go.
Oh yeah, the little. I wouldn't call it a museum, but it's it's like
it's
a nature reserve,
natural
center.
Science type of thing, right?
That
center.
Yeah, what you're saying.
Okay, you guys walk into there, right? And
cool.
you're looking around and stuff, and your family's looking at other stuff, and you look outside and you notice like, man, right now outside just looks so nice. I'm just going to step outside, just get a quick breath.
Sure.
Like 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
You walk outside and as soon as you open those doors and you walk outside, you know what? You're actually in New York, right?
Of course.
And
it's the MCU.
Yeah, exactly. And when you turn around, because obviously you're freaked out, I would imagine your initial reaction would be like, what the hell?
Yes,
right?
Of course.
And you want to get back to your family.
Yeah.
When you turn around, you find that you're at the Baxter building. Right?
Oh, okay. Well, this got a lot more convenient.
I wanted to make this a little easier for you because I know you.
My first question was going to be like, when do I figure it out it's the Marvel Universe?
Yeah.
But
okay. That's going to be very apparent. Yeah, I wanted you to know.
So I turn around and there's a skyscraper in front of me. Do I see my family?
No.
Okay, they're gone.
Yeah. Everything about it is like
I've now been transported to another universe. Okay. I don't know, man. Like, it's hard to gauge what my reaction would be in this situation, Like, I would be looking for my family first and foremost, calling out names, obviously, and I'm not going to find them.
So, yeah, okay. So first foremost, you walk outside, you see it's New York. You turn around, you see the giant skyscraper, but obviously in front of you, what you like literally see right there and there is the glass doors, the fancy doors that you could go into on any kind of big building, right? And it says the Baxter building on the doors, right? Yeah. Okay, so do you go inside or do you stay outside?
I think I would, just because in my reference here is like I would just walk through those doors. Like I'm walking back, so I'll walk back through the doors, hoping that I go back to the Nature Reserve Center.
Yeah,
which I won't.
Yeah, it's going to be the inside of the Baxter building.
Okay,
you're at what they would call the reception.
Yeah, probably. Right. I mean, that's how buildings usually work. I don't think at this point I'm in such a state that I'm probably not drawing the line between the name of the building and the
you wouldn't make the connection.
Probably not immediately, because I'd be kind of in a panic. I'd be looking for my family. I probably wouldn't find them. I'd probably go back out the street. I'd pull out my phone. I'd try and call my fiance.
Oh, okay. And then what kind of phone service do you guys have?
Verizon.
Okay, so when you call, you hear is,
"Welcome to Verizon Wireless. The number you dialed has been changed, disconnected, or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again."
Great. Okay, at this point, I still haven't realized it's the Marvel Universe yet. So,
but, by the way, if you would have said Google, I would have been like, the Google subscriber you have tried to, just like their
Does
voice.
Google have a phone service?
Dude, so one of our fellow employees here, and we would have to reach sometimes, almost 90% of the times before he got his little Wi-Fi booster, it would say that. Every time I tried calling him, it would be like, the Google subscriber you are trying to reach.
I didn't know Google had a phone service.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Jeez. Anyways, learn something every day. So I'm gonna aimlessly be wandering the fucking streets. I can't contact anybody apparently. My bank cards probably don't work.
Oh yeah, right. Because you wouldn't have like
what would be to whatever stupid the Hulk Bank or whatever dumb shit they have here. Who knows?
The first Rogers Bank division, like Steve Rogers or something.
Yeah. So
no, it would be Stark. It would probably be Stark Bank or something.
Stark doesn't own banks. He's a technology developer.
Probably.
Anyways, I mean, I think I would start to catch on that something's up when I'm seeing like hero stuff. But maybe not. We live in a world where the MCU is so fucking popular. I probably like, wow, they really like the MCU in New York.
I was going to say, just like what you said about like how you wouldn't make that connection right away when you saw the name Baxter on there on the building. I honestly, like if it was me, I think the same thing would happen. I would see it. And even if I made the connection like, oh, Baxter building, just like Baxter building in like the Marvel comics, I still wouldn't think that I got transported to another universe. I would think, this is a coincidence that there's an actual Baxter building here, or maybe this is like some kind of a like. I don't know what you would call that, like some homage to the movie, to the comics or something. Yeah. Someone just named it that.
Yes. Yeah. Something along those lines. I'm trying to think who I would go for help to, because it's like, you can't go to the police and be like, I walked through a fucking doorway and now I'm in New York and I'm not, I was in California. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, I don't know that the police might be like, oh, that sounds like some superhero bullshit. Go talk to Spider-Man or whatever. But I won't know that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't know that. Yeah. So,
but were you saying you still wouldn't contact the police because of that?
I'm trying to think about who would I try and contact. because who would I try and contact? My phone doesn't work anyways, so I can't call any loved ones. Well, I would try and call all my loved ones, and obviously it wouldn't work, right?
No, yeah, because none of them have been transported to.
As a matter of fact, I probably have no network service, right? Does Verizon exist in this world?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't know if it does in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, or is it like Quicksilver line or whatever?
I like these. Yeah, I like
everything's super related.
Everything's super.
They can't fucking escape it. So at some point, I see Spider-Man swing overhead, right? Like something's going to happen, right?
Because it's the 616.
Yeah, right? Tell me what happens, and then we'll go from there.
Okay,
right now I'm wandering the streets.
You are this is what I'm thinking. You're wandering streets, and you probably are having thoughts like,
I'm having a full-blown fucking panic attack.
Yeah, so you probably are like, fuck, I guess I gotta go talk to the police. I think as soon as you think that, woo, 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 right, you hear all the sirens going through, right? They're just passing you by, and right above you, you hear the right, and you see Spider-Man, chasing these, right above the
something. Yeah, he's going along with a couple. Yeah. Okay, so it's at this point that I'm like, no fucking way. Like, I'm in denial, so I'm like, no. Like, I would almost try. I'd be trying to convince myself that this is some sort of like crazy, like Vegas level.
Oh my god!
Show theme park thing. I go, no way, right? Mm-hmm. Does anything else happen?
So in the far distance, you now start hearing like these roars, not an animal roar, but like you just hear like I can't describe it other than a yelling roar, right? Mm-hmm. And you start hearing like booms and like thuds, and you start hearing like
I'm taking people are running. Cracking. Are people running at
in the not that far? It's close enough to you that if you ran for a couple minutes, you would be where this is at.
Okay.
So it's relatively loud, but it's not happening right where you're at. Yes, you do hear a panicked crowd, and you start seeing the people starting to run the opposite way.
Okay, well, I'll do that too. I guess I'm gonna look for someplace to like run for safety.
Okay.
Like I'll go inside a building or something at this point because I think something's happening, but I don't know what. And it's beginning to dawn on me that like what's really happening here.
Yeah.
Do I see anything?
So not at first, right? But this building you chose to hide in.
Sure.
Boom! Big explosion happens.
Of course, this building.
Yeah, right. Like not more than 5 feet 5 feet from you, a big slab of this concrete wall of this building that you happen to walk into is like crashed through the ground. You're now seeing outside, right? There's a gaping hole. Who's right in front of you?
Juggernaut.
No.
Hulk.
The Hulk. The big man.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to scream and run for my life because this is terrifying.
I know.
So I run the other direction. I'm running as far away from this entire scenario as possible. But at this point, I'm like, no fucking way, right? I'm like probably saying that 100 times over. Mm-hmm. And I think the second I calm down enough, I'm going to find the nearest person to me and begin asking them questions about superheroes and like that they're real. I'm like, do you know who this is? Is this person real? And of course, they're going to be looking at me like I'm crazy. And they're like, yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah, the Avengers, you mean? And points. There's Avengers Tower.
Like that giant building over there.
Yeah, and I'm just like, God fucking damn it. This is ridiculous.
I want to back up just a little bit because I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah.
Let's say if when you saw the Hulk crash into this building, right? Mm-hmm. Now, let's say wherever in this building that you are hiding, there are things to hide under and behind. Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you something. Would you hide or still try to run?
No, I'd run.
You would run?
Yes, I would run.
Why?
Because it's the Hulk. He smashes.
Okay, so you would think, even if he might not see you, the probability of him smashing things around you, not necessarily going after you, but like, would be more detrimental than trying to run. And maybe he does see you, and maybe he doesn't know who you are, but he perceives you as like a threat. He just sees you running.
The Hulk is not going to look at me and think that's a threat. There's no fucking way.
Well, not a threat, but I always wondered that.
I'm just like, I see the Hulk also. I think my fight or flight response kicks in because it's a giant green monster. And so I'm going to run. I'm running. I'm running as fast as I can.
I always wondered about that when I thought about things happening, whether it be the Hulk or Juggernaut, whoever that's doing that. I always thought like, in school, they teach you when you have an earthquake, you duck and cover. Yeah. Right. Or if you're on fire, you stop, drop, and roll.
When you have a Hulk you run for your life.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just people are gonna think I'm crazy. But I'm gonna be like Thor, Iron Man, Tony Stark, all this stuff. I'm just gonna ask all the things that I know about the Marvel Universe, and as every single person I talk to confirms how very goddamn real it all is.
I hope this random person you do ask about these
is Stan Lee.
Yes, yeah. I would hope it. He'd be like, well, I hope that you have, I hope you get the answers you're looking for. Excelsior, then he walks away.
I would recognize Stan Lee, so I would be like, oh my God, I found the cameo.
Cameo, yes, that would be awesome.
I'll be like, shit, I'm in a comic book right now. Like, there's probably somebody reading about me right now. I'm like in a panel looking terrified. Anyways,
oh my God, that would be such an odd turn of events.
Right? I know.
And I'm reading it on the podcast.
I know. You're just laughing as you're turning through the pages. So it's at this point that I'm like, okay, thank God I know about the 616 universe as much as I do. I know the number one person I need to talk to, most likely. And then I know probably my number twos and my number threes, but my number one is Reed Richards, right? He's literally the smartest man in the universe. He has a building in the city. He deals with parallel dimensions and cosmic fucking reality shit all the time on a science level, not on a magic level like Doctor Strange. My main thing is like, how do I get like his attention? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm going to the Baxter building.
Okay.
And I'm going to the receptionist and I'm going to explain my situation and hope that they give me something. I don't know. Like, because
I'm curious at your number twos and number threes. Let's say you go there and let's say, I'm sorry, Reed Richards is not available at this moment.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious. I just want to know who your other two you would try to go.
So Doctor Strange comes to mind, but Doctor Strange, unfortunately, is even harder to get a hold of.
I know.
And same with Doctor Doom, also who probably wouldn't help me.
Yeah. Oh wait, was that your number three?
No. I'm thinking about people who have the capability of helping me that exists in this world. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I also want to know how far away is the Baxter building from 177A Bleecker Street? You know what I mean? In New York.
Where's that? What's that?
177A Bleecker Street is where it's the Sanctorum, whatever the
is
New
that
York,
where, is that the
Doctor
Sanctum
Strange?
Sanctorum?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And like, that's the thing. You just can't even find the Sanctum Sanctorum unless like you fucking have magic eyes or whatever. Mm-hmm. Honestly, Xavier is not bad because he could read minds. And if I just need to be able to get a taxi out to, what is it, Manchester, New York?
Oh, that was your number three?
No, it is right now. Right now, I'm just thinking on the fly.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm thinking Xavier knows Reed Richards.
Yeah.
And Xavier can read minds.
And
Xavier exists at a school most people don't approach. Mm-hmm. And they have high security, but in a different way. Like, I can go to the school, you know what I mean? And explain my situation. And at the very least, hang around the grounds until Xavier's around. Like, just think really hard and hope that Xavier like picks it up. And if I can get an audience with Xavier, Charles Xavier, it's gonna he'll read my mind. I will beg for help, and they're heroes. They better fucking help me, or I'll be very fucking mad.
You know what, Will? I know, right? What are you guys even doing?
Yeah, Jesus.
You really do think of everything almost, Will, because I was going to tell you okay, because that's why I was like, oh, is Xavier your third? Because I was going to say, I think you have a long way to travel from the Baxter building to the School for Gifted Children, mm-hmm. Xavier School for Gifted Children, mm-hmm. Because I think his is what is it, way up?
It's upstate New York
or somewhere.
Yeah. So that's gonna be my main problem. I'm sure.
That's why you said but that's why you were if you could just sit there and think maybe he would.
Oh no! I meant once I'm on the grounds. I think it might take me a few days to get there, or a week, or whatever. However long it takes for me to pay the Uber to take me, mm-hmm. or whatever they call Uber in this dumb universe.
Yeah, you're right. Some kind of.
So if I can get there, if Xavier will give me the time of day, he can read my mind. He knows I'm telling the truth. Mm-hmm. It's the Marvel universe. Weird shit like this happens all the time.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
What are you gonna say?
No. Let's play out this little scenario.
All right.
Okay. So you're at the mansion.
Sure.
You knock on the door.
Yes.
Knock.
I am gonna ask for Wolverine's autograph, by the way.
Yeah. That's funny you say that. You knock on the door and Logan answers. Okay. And what he does, he's like, "What the hell do you want, bub?" Like that, right? What would you say?
Oh shit.
You took too long. He's like, sorry, we don't want any chump. And then he's about to close the door. What would you do?
I would hold my hand up to yes.
Okay.
Because I mean, like, I'm here to talk to Charles Xavier. He's probably the only person who can help me, or at least the only person who will know that I need help.
Okay, I think what you said right there, that would have been enough to get Logan to take the cigar out of his mouth and actually like.
I mean, he's such a fucking asshole in the comics too. He's way more of an asshole in the comics.
Well, I didn't say all I said was that was enough to have him take the cigar out of his mouth. Mm-hmm. And what he does is he looks you up and down, and then he takes the middle cloth, right? Yeah. And he cuts the end of where the ashes are, and he cuts the end of the cigar so he could put it away so it's not lit anymore.
Okay, all right.
And then he's like. Yeah? And what makes you think I'm going to believe you?
I don't know how it convinced fucking Wolverine.
Let's just go because I want to get to where you would. Okay,
I would be like, because why would I mean, there's a million reasons why I would lie if I'm some sort of weird fucking secret agent of like, I don't know, so the Skrulls for some reason. Like, I could be anything.
Yeah, you. What are you, Hydra Bub? Like, that's what he's going to see, you know what I mean? Like,
I'd be like, dear God, no. I would just tell him the truth. I go, I'm from a different fucking universe. I've landed in this one. I really need to talk to Reed Richards, but they won't let me into the Baxter building. And I figured Xavier reads minds. He's the most powerful telepath in the world. Like, he would read my mind and know I'm telling the truth, and then he could connect me with Reed Richards.
So after you say that, you know what? I honestly believe when you say that, Logan would be like, yeah, you do smell kind of funny. And then you hear an echoey voice, right? Mm-hmm. And it's Xavier's voice, and he's like, Logan, let our guest into the mansion.
God,
yes, I know.
You.
Yeah, because at that point, I really do believe Xavier would have already known what's going on. Yeah. He would have sensed this new weird anxiety from Logan that he's talking to someone that he thinks
I definitely would tell Wolverine. I go, dude, in my universe you're like super super famous and everyone loves you. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, if you told that, he'd probably be like, no one likes a kiss ass bub. That's what he would say.
I'd be like, just saying, bro. Like, I know, like, you got like a tumultuous relationship with the public in this universe, but in my universe, like, you're super well liked.
Actually, it'll be funny is after you say that to him, here comes Cyclops, right? And he goes like, wait, hold on, who's this? And then after you just said that about Logan, he's like, no, he's good. You know what I mean? That's what he would do, and he would let you pass.
That's too funny.
He'd be like, he's good, Summers.
So if Xavier did talk to me, I'm sure he would read my mind. I'm sure he would be like, okay, well,
he would know you're telling the truth.
Yeah, he would know I'm telling the truth, and he would probably say like, okay, you could stay here for a bit. I'll reach out to Reed and see if I can get him to agree to meet with you. And so the thing is, Reed Richards is notoriously fucking busy all the time. I know. It's like, kind of his thing. Mm-hmm. So like, he might meet me within a day, or it might take like 2 months. I don't know.
Yeah, you never. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he would make you wait, because Xavier knows you are telling the truth.
Yeah, but Reed would just be like, okay, that's interesting, and I will help him, but I'm busy with these 10, universe-threatening situations right now. Yeah, I see. Like, I'm very low priority. I'm going to have to wait for him, and he, like, Tony Stark would not be able to help me. Hank Pym would not be able to help me. Like, this is like universe dimensional stuff, and then it's kind of a Reed Richards deal. Yeah. So I would have to wait. I guess the cool thing is, if Xavier was nice enough, I mean, I'd work for my stay. I would be like, I could help out.
He would be. There's no way if Reed Richards told Xavier like, okay, look, I can help him. I could try to help him, but you got to give me time here. There's no way that Xavier is going to be like, okay, good luck finding someplace to stay. And he would be like, okay, for as long as you have to stay here, we have a room ready for you.
Yeah. Well, I honestly, okay, so I would be like, thank you, yada, yada, yada. But I want to earn my keep. Yeah. And I would tell him like, whatever you need help with, wherever you want to put me to work, I'm doing it. And it's really just a motive for me to interact with all the mutants. Okay, because I want to watch them train and shit. Right, I was gonna say, I was like, oh shit, it's Nightcrawler. I would try and get everyone's autograph. I would get photos of everybody on my fucking phone.
Is there an X-Men you absolutely hate?
Oh,
Is there just one that you're just like, I just never liked
X-Men's
this.
had a lot of phases, so that's difficult for me to answer.
And they didn't have to be technically an X-Man. They could have been just one of the mutants that happened to be...
A mutant that I absolutely
that
hate.
maybe you knew had been
that would be at the school?
Yeah, but is not technically X-Men, not part of the team that goes out and fights.
I understand your meaning. Not really. I don't know. Do you have one?
I just wanted to see if you did name one. I was like, oh, guess what? That's who you're rooming with.
Yeah, I mean, no one comes to mind.
The kid's mutant power is he always smells like farts.
Well, obviously, if that existed, I wouldn't want to know him. But my point is, I would work and hopefully at least make close enough acquaintances with some of them to get a few pictures. So that'd be fucking cool to come on with at least.
I did want to ask you if you did have to wait. Let's say it was 10 days. Let's say it was 10 days only.
Okay.
What would you do? And you don't have to be stuck at the mansion. Is there certain things that you're like, I would have to definitely do this?
Oh, I'm not leaving this mansion. Are you kidding me? It's probably the safest fucking location for me to be.
Yeah.
I mean, the mansion gets attacked sometimes, but
but then
it goes under super lockdown. You got everyone around you. It's also out in the countryside. It's not New York. Mm-hmm. I'm not going back to New York. That's ground zero for a bunch of shit. Mm-hmm. So no, I'm staying here. And I'm super trying to get autographs and photographs with every cool mutant that I can. Uh-huh. Storm and Wolverine are top of my list for sure.
Ooh, okay.
Storm is, besides Wolverine, is my favorite mutant.
I was gonna say, what if you had that picture? He's like, "How does Sugar?" And it's Rogue, right?
I mean, Rogue's cool. I mean, I'm not a big Rogue fan. She's alright.
Yeah.
But Nightcrawler would be next for me. Colossus to make you jealous.
Dude. Oh my god, I would feel so bad because I know I would be like one of those weird fanboys or whatever. I don't know what you would call them, but I would have to ask them, can I please take 2 pictures of you? One when you're not armored up and one when you're armored up. I have to have that.
For sure. I would just get the armored up one. But they already are semi-celebrity in their own universe. So it wouldn't be that weird. And I would just explain in my world, you guys are fictional characters, but you're super famous and everyone loves you guys. But anyways, I'm sure if Reed Richards got a hold of me, he'd do all kinds of experiments and readings on me. And the multiverse is a big thing in Marvel Universe that Reed Richards is very experienced with. He goes to different ones all the time.
Because he finds out, doesn't he have, each person from each universe has their own signature vibration or something? Isn't that how that... I thought that's how that worked.
I'll say yes, Tom.
Where then he could figure out which one you vibrate the same with.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm sure he'd figure out something.
Yeah.
But hopefully he doesn't give me an answer of oh no, something's gone wrong. If we return you to your universe, it'll actually explode. I'm like, well, fuck, now I'm stuck here.
Yeah.
Can you give me superpowers?
I know. And then all of a sudden behind you, we're like, be careful what you wish for, man. It's the thing, right? Because he's going to be all like, you don't want to end up looking like me. You know what I mean?
I mean, fuck, he's got a good point.
Yeah, And then, of course, all of a sudden you hear, flame on, or you could be cool like me. And it's like, you know what I mean?
Man.
It would be so awesome. I would just love. I know it's dangerous. Don't get me wrong. I understand this, but I would love being there.
I would. You know what would be cool is if Reed Richards did send me back, and he was able to send me back to the exact moment. So literally, I walk out the door. If this is from my fiance's point of view, I walked out the door and I came back and I had all these photos.
Oh man!
And I'd probably have different clothes on. And
maybe, yeah.
I'd probably be in a different state of wherever my beard's at the moment.
you have
my beard would be 2 weeks more grown.
I just had this thought of you showing your fiance these photos, and one of them is the X-Men suit, but they couldn't find one exactly your size, so it's either gonna look really loose, baggy.
I'm sure they could. Literally, they have mutants who can grow in size. Yeah. They can find one my size.
But that would have been funny.
That would be cool if I came back in an X-Men suit, though.
Oh no! You know what though? Let me ask you this, because Reed Richards is fucking smart.
Yeah.
Do you think he would have? Do you think he would have overlooked that? Or do you think he would have been overlooked that you had photos and you did stuff knowing that you've been here for a while? Do you think he would overlook the fact that, wait a minute, let me see your phone before we send you back. You can't have this stuff on there because it's going to create who knows what it can cause.
I don't think because the multiverses are constantly cross-pollinating and other bullshit, I don't think he would think it is a big deal at all.
Okay.
Literally, they have entities from the future and from the past and from Dimension X encroaching all the time. It's not like people don't know these universes exist. There's not really an issue there, so I think I'd be cool.
Yeah.
And I think I would have photos, and even if my fiance didn't really believe me, she would always wonder how I had all those photos.
Dude, That would be awesome. I would love that. You better show me these pictures.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm showing everybody. No one will believe me, but maybe someone will. But I'll have the photos. Can you give us like the quick, how do you think you would have gone about things?
In all honesty, I probably would have done a lot of the same things with a few exceptions. Mm-hmm. I couldn't help myself. I would have to explore. If they told me Reed Richards will be able to try and help you, but you have to, it's going to take 10 days, whatever, a month. Mm-hmm. Yes, I would stay there for maybe a couple days at the mansion, and I would definitely sneak around. I'd be too curious. I would talk to everyone I could talk to. Yeah. But after that, I guess Xavier permitting, because I feel like he might tell me, no, don't leave the grounds. But if he didn't and said, yeah, sure, go explore New York or whatever, we're close by.
That seems so like you might never make it back to your family because you got caught. Like
I know,
lots of people die.
I mean,
there's villains everywhere.
The only saving factor that I feel like would be like I'm the main story, or I'm the main character in this story, is that somehow like Spider-Man or someone will come save me. Sure, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you know what? Just as, even though I think there's more chance of me maybe getting hurt or something happening to me, like, there might be also that chance of maybe I'll become a superhero, like somehow, like maybe, some kind of radioactive goo truck comes by and crashes and then it spills on me and now I have powers.
Sounds like a very unpleasant
I don't know.
Experience.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like something, right?
Okay, so you're going to go out there and risk your life.
But yeah, I think the only caveat would be I would go out and explore. I would try to meet Spider-Man. I don't know how much I would be running away from at the beginning when I was telling you, like, you see these people running away, because I would just be so curious. Like, is this the Hulk? Like, is this really him? You know what I mean?
But like, why would you want to be near that? Because he's not gonna be like friendly to you. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to do his best not to hurt you, but like, he doesn't have full control of himself a lot of the time.
I mean, you're right. I mean, I'm not trying to say my choices are smart. I'm just telling you what I would actually do. And I would, like, if he did see me, I would just be like, I would probably go down to one knee with my hands up, and I'd be like, Hulk, I'm a friend. Like, I would literally, at the very least, what he would probably do is look at me and go, and then just go away. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly what he would do.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I think, I would just have to. I would have to, like, I would have to explore. There's no way I couldn't. And yeah.
Is there a number one location that you'd want to see?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Part of me would really want to go to Avengers Tower. But Baxter Building too. But you know what? But it's like, it's not like if you go there, it's not like they have all this comic book stuff that you're going to be, oh, this is cool. This is like whatever, this and that. It's going to be a normal building. It's going to be a research building, the Baxter Building. Sure. You're going to go in there and it's going to be boring for you because there's nothing there for you to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah. Especially, even I think maybe Avengers Towers too. I don't think that has anything in there that's like for the general public, really. Right.
I'd be happy just exploring Xavier School for Gifted Children.
I would still do that too. Talk to everyone. But dude, Excelsior.
Is there anybody out there? Can anybody hear me? Please hear me. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, this is Fritz Frivolous. I need your help. I'm stuck. Somehow stuck inside the minds of Will and Tom. I need to escape. Please support them and their podcast. You can go to patreon.com/dudecouldyouimagine or leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Distract them long enough for me to break free. You can even leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Again, don't forget about me, Fritz Frivolous.
Director, we have arrived at the planet, third from the star in this solar system. Shall we proceed with planetary annihilation?
Thank you, Navigator. Our directive is clear. We must first determine if the inhabitants of this planet are worthy enough to be spared.
But, Director, our sensors indicate low intelligence across the planet. We even intercepted a communique from some Fritz or something, and all it is are questions pertaining to fictional scenarios that most likely can never come true.
This is a difficult decision. Let us speak to a random citizen of this planet. If a random citizen is incapable of defending the worth of its own species, perhaps that species is not worth sparing.
And we're back.
Indeed we are.
Will, this next one, man, this is going to be, I feel like this is going to be hard for us.
Okay.
This is a heavy question, Will.
Oh, okay.
Imagine if aliens came to you and they told you they will annihilate Earth unless you can convince them not to.
Okay.
What would you show them or say to them to convince them to spare Earth?
To spare Earth. Okay. Do I have any information about these aliens? Like, what do they look like? What is their tech like? What is their demeanor like?
You know what? Their tech and their appearance is totally something foreign. You've never ever seen anything like this. Like they look almost like they almost look translucent and bioluminate, like they have like bioluminescence to them.
They're like incorporeal, like interdimensional
glowing
beings.
Yeah, kind of. And they're kind of glowing. You don't even know, like they have this device, this circle device that just hovers above their hand. You don't know if it's a weapon or not, but they're pointing it at you as if they could do something.
All right, so this isn't really a time for asking questions.
No, you don't know.
Okay, reason to spare humanity from annihilation. I think it's going through my head that this species is one of two things. They're either incredibly they can't be that pragmatic if they're just asking me, but maybe like mentally their thought process is, certain species aren't safe to be kept alive for us. You know what I mean? Like if you're a certain type of way, we don't want to let you cultivate much further because you can be a threat to us. Or they could be one that values a certain strengths and values.
Yeah. You know what? So basically what they tell you, the only other thing they tell you, and it's not the best translation, but you just said something that kind of gave me an idea. They basically view themselves as people, or as the beings who prune the universe. So they figure out who they think is the species that would be beneficial to the universe, and species who they think are not necessarily just non-beneficial, but even ones that just seem stagnant and don't do anything. They're like, we don't need this, it's waste. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what you got from them.
If that's what I get, we're fucked because, I don't know. I'm going to have to lie.
Yeah.
Not lie, but I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to show our best face possible, in my view, and hope to God it's good enough and they don't look any further. So I think I would start, is there a time limit? Do I have a time limit? Or they're like, you got 10 seconds. I'm like, fuck.
No, they give you, they'll give you 3 days to come up with
3
whatever.
days?
Yeah, you have 3 days on the third day.
to give them a PowerPoint presentation?
Or whatever, however you want to tell them.
Okay, sure. I guess I'll do a PowerPoint or something equivalent.
If you did, that was fun. If you did want to show them something or have them go see something that you couldn't bring with you or whatever.
I mean, there's the internet.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you needed them to see it maybe in person, whatever it is, I'm just saying that you can tell them and they will go and do that. It's not like you couldn't just because for logistic reasons. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Okay. I'm just letting you know if you have some idea of what you're in.
Okay. I think the first thing I'm thinking then is I need to show them human beings' progression level, right? So I would start by showing them some of the earliest works of man.
Oh, okay.
There's a cave in France, right? I can't remember the name of it, but it's got paintings done by humans, I think, almost 17,000 years ago. Really early stuff, yeah. And it's quite beautiful, and a lot of it is a lot of the animals in the area and stuff like that. And there's a lot of negative handprints, where they basically they would get paint in a blow stick and they would
blow around it.
And so I would show them that and some of the early ruins and some of the early tech and stuff, and then I would show them some of the most modern stuff we're capable of now, obviously the space flight, the cities.
My 2-year-old can do better than that. What if they're
we're working on it.
I know.
The architecture, the cities, the rocket tech, computers, vehicles, electric ones mostly.
Yeah, I know, right?
Trying to think what else could I show?
Because they're like,
because I'm trying to stay away from weapons right now.
Yeah,
very like they don't need to know about nuclear weapons.
I'm glad you also said the electric cars, because they'd be like, so you picked modes of transportation that ruin your own environment. Like,
we're working on it. We're working on it. God damn it. Although I'm sure they can just see it, but like I'm the one they want the presentation from me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then clean technology and stuff like that. I would definitely show. And then I would show some of the best art that I could. I'm not an art expert.
Any specific pieces that you know of?
Well, first off, I guess I'm gonna start with
artists?
like let's do some Mozart. Let's show them some of what's considered to be some of the greatest stuff.
Uh-huh.
I'm not the person I'm not a classical music expert in any way, shape, or form. I'm very limited knowledge, but I would just show them some of the most famous pieces from like Beethoven and Mozart, stuff like that.
Oh, right on.
I'm trying not to let my biases creep in here, because if I just want to show them all the things that I think are cool, humanity might be obliterated, and that's not worth it. So, I'm like, check out this video game. It's called The Legend of Zelda.
And then they'll be like, this is the exact chronicling of our mythological.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Like, this fulfills the prophecy.
Yeah. I think I might be interested in showing them the pervasiveness of the hero's journey in like human fiction, and like how closely it is portrayed across cultures and then across time as well.
Yeah.
Show like that there is something about like the quest, the call to adventure, the rising above one station, the like the saving of others and stuff like that like is kind of like deeply ingrained, at least very much in Western culture, let alone the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. That would be kind of a cool, like, look, we have this in common across tens of thousands of years.
Yeah.
This is something that's deeply ingrained in us as a species. I mean, I guess I'd show them the Beatles, or at least a few Beatles songs. I'm trying to think what Beatles song, because I only have so much time, so like I get one, right? Maybe
probably.
Two.
I mean, depending on how much you want to fill.
I don't know.
Presentation up.
Maybe
with
I'm going to back up on this Beatles thing, because I don't know which one I would show them.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I love the Beatles, like I don't know if they would get it right away.
Yeah, because they wouldn't know any human references.
Yeah,
to what these
exactly.
Songs
so
are talking
like
about.
while on the other hand, like classical stuff, it's more inherent in like the beauty is more abstract, and you don't need the cultural references for that necessarily. Why should I put on Mozart? They're like, what is this horrid sound? What do you make us listen to? Like, oh God,
this is the sound of death on our planet. Like, why are you hearing this?
What else? Fuck. What else would I show them? Off the top of my head, this is a difficult question.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like a heavy and difficult question, because who knows what to say. What is the right answer? There's no right answer to this.
There's not.
Like, if you don't mind,
go for it. Yeah.
So I know I was thinking about it, and I feel like even though I was thinking about this answer, I feel like it's very Star Trek-esque, and because of the fact I think there's an episode. It might have been at the beginning where I think I told you about this. There's this entity called Q, and these Q out of this what they call the Q continuum. These species, they're omniscient, and they basically want to test humanity, and they basically are saying, well, we're going to wipe out all of humanity unless you can prove to Captain Picard. They're like,
this is like a thing?
Yeah, this is an actual thing.
Star Trek posed the question that I posed.
Yeah, he was like, unless you can prove to us why we shouldn't, right? But anyways, if aliens came to me and did this, I would show them, and I know this is going to sound weird, but I would show them interviews.
You told me this. Yeah, and I hard disagree, but you go right. You're right.
And I would have them interview, if any of them are still alive, survivors of the Holocaust.
I think this is a bad move.
But this isn't just. Yeah, I understand. This isn't just. That's not the only thing I would have them do. But I would start off with this, right? Reason being is because I would want to show that human beings still have this spirit of survival. You know what I mean? And even though they had to survive such horrors in their life, you know what I mean? They did survive it, and they were able to, you know, go on to have families and stuff and create goodness from, you know, even though they had to endure such hardships.
I hear where you're coming from, but I think better examples of what you're showing could be like people surviving like natural disasters.
I would show that too.
Yeah,
I'm not just saying, but I'll be honest with you. But I do feel like I know what you're saying. You're saying it's bad because they're going to see that humanity could do such violence to each other.
Right.
But they already know that, right? These aliens already know, right? That I mean, they would
need to remind them, Tom.
Well, but
they're saying make the best case. If the best case you can make involves can't escape that, I don't know, man.
Well,
I don't know.
Okay, well, because then I would show, and then more recent things, right? Recent things in like advancement in medical technology and other like disease research and stuff like that, right? People who maybe were born with any kind of disability or due to an accident, whatever.
I think that actually that's maybe okay. Well, if we're okay with lying, this might actually be good because you're trying to give a certain like you're trying to evoke a certain like connection, right? Of like progress, but like the connection that you were making between those two things don't really correlate because those horrors are still happening to a lot of people around the world. Yeah, it's not like we don't do that anymore. Now we make dope medical stuff.
Yeah, well,
you know?
no, but
we are lying to the aliens, and like, so maybe this works.
Well, see, what I would hope that they would want to show is that okay, look, I know we're not perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have many things wrong. Humans do a lot of things that are wrong and they shouldn't be doing.
We said make your best case, human.
Yeah, I know, right? But I would want to show them that cutting us so short, like if you really want to look at history and how long humans have been alive compared to like how long the earth has been here or whatever,
absolutely.
Like it's a blink of an eye.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So for them to cut us short now and to showing us that within this blink that we have come, we've been getting better, it takes time. But the reason I want to show them things like that, or like, advancement in technology and showing our willingness to help, how we do provide help to even other countries, like when they're in dire need or when they have natural disasters or this and that, is for the fact that as humans, for one, we survive, for two, we grow and we learn. You know what I mean? So to me, I don't know. That's what I would show them, because I would think that would make a good case for like, don't prune us, don't chop us off the tree of the universe or the branch of this universe or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Let us grow, because more than likely in the future we'll blossom. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
I understand where you're coming from, but I feel like
still think that
you could have done it without showing, like, basically that's what I just did without showing them any of that bad stuff.
Yeah.
But here's a question.
And maybe necessarily we don't have to show them what happened to them. They just have to talk to them and know that they survived it.
So what did Picard do? Can you tell me about that episode?
So Picard basically, well, it took place over the whole entire series, if you really think about it, because if you never watched the entire series. Okay, so that actually I think happened, maybe even on episode 1, right? And then they encounter Q, and he says that, and he says your humanity is being put on trial. And then there was another part in another episode, I don't know what season it was, where they tried to now make them like, okay, here's the verdict of what we think about humans and all that. But then later on, Q gives him a final test, and it was this thing that happened to where he said, no, humanity is not going to come about because of something you did. And it was some time paradox, right? And what ended up happening was something he does in the future affects what was happening, what you were watching in the present, which gets even worse in the past, right? And what happens in the past was the primordial goo that was on Earth that first formed the cells that would later evolve into humans doesn't happen. Because of this weird spatial anomaly that was created by something they did with the Enterprise. I forget the exact details, but it was something like that, right?
Okay.
But when Q finally does talk to Picard and stuff, he does say, like, he's like, what do you want me to say? He's like, I understand that humans are not perfect. Like he says, like, we're not perfect, but we do grow and we do learn and we do, we do better every time or something like that, right?
Yeah,
something to that effect.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like, you know what? I think that's the best, in my opinion, of what we could show someone if they had the power to annihilate all of us and they wanted us to convince them not to. I don't know. That's the only answer I could really come up with. You know what I mean? That would be the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I think in this case, Picard, it was more like a last defense.
Yeah, and then what ended up happening was they revealed too that like the Q continuum was technically they're scared of humans because of the fact that
which is a common theme.
Yeah,
across
the
fiction.
Q continuum couldn't grow. Their species couldn't grow anymore because they were omniscient. Like they didn't have this desire to be better, but they saw that in the future they know humans grow so much that they become more powerful than even like the Q. That's why they were afraid of them.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. I think another thing I would show would be the multiculturalism. So like the great variety of human philosophy and life. Like we're not just one thing; we are many things. Like we could look at like cultures historically speaking, but also like modern world, like going to different cities, seeing the different cultures, the different foods, the different languages, the different architecture, the different everything, right? Maybe we could go over like early philosophy and like where we are now today and stuff like that. But yeah, I would just try and make the best case based off the best works that humans have come up with. Like, well, I mean, I say the best works, like the most accepted to be the best works, right? And just hope to God
the ones that almost stood
our
the test of
collective
time.
agreement that these are the best things that we've ever done is universal.
Yeah.
So
I kind of feel like, to be honest with you, I kind of feel like we like our both answers meshed together would probably be the better of the whole thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I would beg you to leave the Holocaust part out.
Okay, maybe I'd leave that out.
I would want different disaster, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're right. Maybe
we're supposed to be putting on our best face.
A different disaster to show, though, that we do survive, because I feel like survival, has a thing.
Yeah, it's admirable.
Own.
It's an admirable quality to a certain degree. I would be so like the reason that I didn't try and emphasize the survivability thing is the fear that like one of the things that aliens might be fearful of is a species that is too resourceful, that is too like dangerous. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like if they're too resilient, what happens if they outgrow us in power? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I was trying to stay away from that. I was like trying to show progression in the most non-violent way possible. I was trying to show like the usefulness of our creativity and like, and stuff like that.
Which is true, but I mean, it's like, who knows? You would never know.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been my approach, but I see where you're coming from too.
Yeah. But dude, could you imagine? The podcast you have just heard are the imaginings from the highly evolved minds of the extra-dimensional beings, Will and Tom. It has been translated into a format more easily understood by the human mind. Interpret it as you will. Should you find yourself seeking more answers to life's most intriguing mysteries, you can show your support by becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/dude-could-you-imagine. You can also leave an Apple Podcasts review. You can subscribe to us on Instagram at dude_could-you-imagine, on Twitter at DCYimagine, and on our YouTube channel, where you can leave a like and a comment. We can also be reached through our email, dudecouldyoimagine@gmail.com. We leave you now so that you may gather your thoughts, until we meet again, to ponder the meaning of the cosmos and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I hope the person this random person you do ask about these
is Stanley.
Yes, yeah. I would hope he'd be like, well, I hope that you have, I hope you get the answers you're looking for. Excelsior,
I would recognize Stanley, so I would be like, oh my God, I found the cameo.
Cameo, yes, that would be awesome.
I'll be like, shit, I'm in a comic book right now. Like, there's probably somebody reading about me right now. I'm like in a panel looking terrified.